What is up, my friends? Welcome to Championship Sunday here for NECC Nationals, live from the Esports Arena in Arlington, Texas. My name is Jeff Finley, here with the one and only Billy Luton. Billy, what an amazing weekend we've had so far, culminating up to our grand finals here for Overwatch.
The atmosphere has been something that I think you and I took a minute to get used to with the collegiate atmosphere, everything going on, seeing all the players that we have finally put a name to the face.
Final.
Holy cow, it has been overwhelming. And we got one more match here for NECC Overwatch, and it is going to be ISU versus Northwood. There have been some serious upsets going all around this arena with the CECC going on, with OWCC going on, ABC going on. I mean, everything has been going on.
It's been a heck of a weekend.
It's been crazy, and now we get to culminate our final weekend.
And it feels like it was always leading up to these two teams. It was always going to be Redbirds versus Northwood. It seems like fate has just put these two before us, culminating into this. And, well, I mean, this is going to be the first of two times that we see them in a grand finals today to start things off. But you know what? Let's take a look at these rosters before we get going. Kicking things off with ISU. And, man, we saw Lethal have one heck of a day yesterday. And if Lethal is going to keep playing like that, ISU are in good shape.
Absolutely. And, I mean, we were talking about Lethal just absolutely popping off on the CECC stage yesterday. I was in the second row just screaming my head off. But it really did depend on what Will was doing. And Kuffa played the entirety of the match yesterday. Ariel did not come in. So there is a lot going on here. I want to see if Kuffa's going to continue to stay and be the mainstay. But based upon what the tank line has been kind of nerfed around and kind of been played at, Kuffa seems very comfortable with what's going on right now. The other big caveat here, Skyle was quietly the carry for the team yesterday. Admiral had big flashy beats, but the lamp usage, the immortality coming out, the windows coming out, just whatever they needed. Skyle was that Swiss Army knife on the back line that they really propped themselves up. I'm looking for a huge performance from him again.
Well, and not only with the BAP, but with the Ana as well.
Oh my God.
When Skyle got a chance to bring out the Ana alongside Kuffa's Winston, it was game-changing. Was hitting so many just fight-winning bio-nades time and time again. So if we get to see the Ana, I think that ISU are in real good shape. But hey, you know what? Let's take a look at their opponents, Billy, because Northwood are the kings of collegiate. This is the most winning team in all of collegiate Overwatch. You're going back to ABC Collegiate. They have 3 first-place titles, 3 second-place titles, and Cowman has been there every step of the way. Nobody has more titles in collegiate Overwatch than Cowman right now.
Having a chance to look over their shoulder yesterday, watching them play, you get chills. You get the sense of what this means to these players. And that is the big thing that I took away is the passion, the focus, the intensity is so damn strong. It's palpable. It leaches onto us. It makes us more passionate about what we're seeing them do. The other thing is the Wunderkind Rocket was on absolute fire yesterday and had a massive day on the Tracer, and everything else that they touched seemed to turn to gold.
I mean, what a pickup from Northwood. They get Rocket, just about a month ago, they get Rocket from Fisher. Rocket entered collegiate back in September as their first foray, entering collegiate Overwatch, joining that Fisher squad about mid-September, and then Northwood picks him up about a month ago. And I would say Rocket may be, if not the single best Tracer in all of NA, not just in collegiate, but in the entirety of NA Overwatch. And, well, I mean, Tracer is a pretty important hero. You got a good Tracer, you got a good shot of winning the match, and Rocket's as good as they come.
I have been saying for months now that Rocket is one of the best Tracers NA. I'm now going to put it out there that Rocket is the best Tracer NA. I will put him up against OWCS teams. I will put him up against any other collegiate team. He's that good. He is that in the moment, so locked in, and a gracious young man as well. So humble, so awesome. Got a chance to talk to them just for a couple seconds because they were on their way out to go get, either reconvene and get grouped up and go into their next match.
Yeah.
But, man, I mean, they've been gracious. All the players have been gracious with their times. Yeah. It's been fun to say hi. They wave at us. They come pull us aside. It's been so fun getting that human factor that we've done most of this online, right? Now we get a chance to meet all of them. Got to say, the players live up to what they are on screen. Big personalities, big hearts, big passion.
And that difference that we get from the live scenario and us getting talked to them, they experience that same thing in game as well. That added life of being able to see your opponents in front of you, of having, I mean, they're used to having their teammates next to them, no doubt, but it's having everybody together and the energy of playing in that room. I mean, it affects each and every fight in game. And, I mean, we see it a little bit where teams are taking a little more time selecting their map choices, taking a little more time figuring out how they want to approach strategy. Just being live ups the intensity level exponentially going.
I want to take your minds back to Friday when we had our semifinal rounds coming in here, or the first rounds coming in here. ISU specifically waited on Fisher to pick their map before they decided to make a substitution, bringing Kuffa out and putting Ariel in. So we know that there's a definite cerebral bend to this team. Sadis was talking about them. Yeah. They are super confident. They were talking about some limit testing that they were doing during their match on Friday. We had a chance to talk to Sadis last night.
Oh yeah, it was Light.
Light too.
Yeah. Light was the one saying that. Yeah, they was limit testing. They was just limit testing. I don't know how much of that I buy. You know, I think there may have been just a little pride involved, but I like it, and you like the passion. And also in that same conversation, we heard Light talking about how they weren't really that concerned about Fisher. They felt really confident going up against Fisher, but they know Northwood is a whole other ballgame.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, there was a difference of change in opinion. Like it was like a cold wind came in when they started talking about Northwood.
Right.
It became very serious, very focused. All the ego, all the egoing was gone at that point. It was purely business.
Yep.
Now, let's take a look at our map set for your grand finals here for the NECC Overwatch 2024 Championships. We're going to start out in Oasis of all places. So does that tell me that we're going to be looking at a possible Winston mirror coming out here, City Center? Winnie plays very well there. University, kind of the bad place for him, but I mean, Gardens, he has a feast on.
Yep.
So I would anticipate seeing, for sure, Winston Tracer at least 2 of these maps.
And that's what ISU are betting on here. I think they're wanting to play the Winston as much as humanly possible. With ISU banning out Lijiang Tower, so that does track with that same theory. Northwood banned out Ilios here in our first map. Oh, I can feel the electricity in the air. We're getting close, Billy. We're getting real close. This is going to be a first to 3 here. So despite being a grand finals, we want to keep it short and sweet. So no first to 4 in this one. Maximum of 6 maps.
Well, I wanted to go to the distance.
Oh yes, we want as much Overwatch as humanly possible.
Yes.
Between these 2 teams, are you kidding? Absolutely.
I mean, this could be the ABC finals. This is going to be the CECC finals later on this evening.
Yep.
So I think that we've got a certified just rivalry that has surfaced in the past month and is actually coalesced here in Arlington. It's almost like Dragon Ball Z. It's like next time on Dragon Ball Z.
It's really culminated over 3 years between these 2 squads.
Yeah, I just think it's come to a head now, like in person. Bam.
Right. Yes. Well, I mean, there have definitely been some historic matchups between these 2 squads. I mean, just looking back, in ABC for Spring 2023, that was an ISU Northwood Grand Final. Northwood were able to take that one. If we look back a little bit further, we're looking at the NECC Spring Grand Finals. That was Northwood winning 4-0.
Yep.
Most recently, that was, just back in April, we saw that 4-0 from Northwood over ISU. Then you go back a little bit further, CECC Last Chance Qualifiers, ISU were able to take the victory over Northwood. So these 2 teams have matched up several times over the past year. Right. Most of the time, Northwood's coming out on top.
Well, it just depends on the day then, doesn't it?
It does.
It depends on the preparation. It depends on their focus. It depends on if they got enough sleep last night. I mean, seriously, there's a lot of that goes into it, especially with an early start like this.
You bet.
I know they were all locked in leaving about the same time last night. We also got a chance to say goodbye to Cabe.
Yes.
And Neb last night. They are graduating from Fisher next Saturday. We had a chance to say goodbye. It kind of closed the circle for us with Contenders Trials and Contenders and the collegiate circuit. So, I mean, you and I, we've done this for years. Getting to see the growth from them being there, and going forward. But you know what? We are going to throw it to a quick little break. We're having a little bit of snarls back in the players' rooms with their PC, so somebody check in PC. We'll be back with you at the NECC Grand Final for Overwatch in just a few moments.
right, we're getting our lobby set, getting everybody ready to go and ready for our first match here in our NECC Grand Finals live from Arlington, Texas. Billy, let's take a look at that map set one more time. A little bit of a reminder, we had Lijiang Tower banned out by the Redbirds. We had Ilios banned out by Northwood. Oasis will be our choice for map 1.
Okay, so I mean, there's 2 Winston prevalent maps, and then there's University. And I would expect to see Ramatra there.
Yeah.
You might screw around and maybe throw a Zarya out there just to have some fun.
It'd be nice, but I anticipate the Ramatra brawl on University.
Yeah. I think the Winston will be heavily prevalent here, though.
I think the question there is, does ISU bring out the Mei again? We saw them kind of toy with the Mei, and perhaps that could have been something that Light was referring to when he was talking about testing a few things.
Yeah.
But we saw ISU play with the Mei a little bit in their match against Fisher. It didn't work so well. Fisher actually kind of got the better end of that deal and won. The 2 maps Fisher won was on the back of the Ramatra and the Mei with that.
Sure.
So I'm curious to see how ISU supports Kuffa on the Winston, what else they bring along.
Sure, but I mean, if you look at what happened last night during the CECC, they also brought Will back out onto the Mei during Shambhala.
True.
And got massive value with it. So I think that they figured out how far they could push that Mei gameplay. And also making sure that Admiral didn't push too far up and get caught behind enemy lines, because that was the big problem, especially Shambhala, was that they were caught behind the walls coming out from Fisher on Friday. So I think that they may have found that perfect little zone where they can work in, where they, just right at the edge of being too far forward away from the LOS, away from being able to disengage with your Lucio. So I think that we'll see that in University for sure. We may even see it on Gardens. I don't think City Center plays as well for the Mei. I would expect to see Will either come out onto the Tracer there or onto the Echo, which we saw a couple times yesterday. And it was very good,
City Center.
Especially City Center. I think we definitely look for the high ground contest with that.
Well, it looks like we got everybody. Yeah, we're just about ready to get going here. I mean, speaking of backlines, before we get this started, I do want to touch on one of my favorite aspects of this Northwood squad and this match, and that's the reuniting of CJ and Vega. We had known this pairing, this duo, this dynamic backline, always played together, and then they got separated at some point. Overwatch League came along and decided, you know what, we want y'all to come play up in the bigs. And you know what, CJ and Vega, they kind of got picked apart there and always missed each other, it seemed, after that. Finally, coming back to Northwood, we get to see them reunited once again.
I mean, it feels so good. Haha, those of you that are older and understand what I mean by that. But I mean, Peaches and Cream would be very proud to see them back together as well. So we'll see, how they deal with this, hyper-intensive Skyle and Admiral back line. Because I think that the two, they're going to be competing for, who's got the best of what they got. And I think that's what we bring now is who supports their tank the best. How much does Admiral really give to Kuffa here to enable him in his forward aggression? Because we saw him get really aggressive on Friday during the NECC matches there. Then yesterday kind of peeled it back a little bit. Admiral being a little bit more forward instead of more Mimi as a Lucio player.
Well, and I don't ever think of Admiral as being super aggressive on the Lucio. I mean, Vega is way more aggressive than Admiral is going to be. I guarantee. And so Admiral's been really good at protecting Skyle and kind of leading the charge, playing a little more of a defensive Lucio and just making sure nobody can get close to that back line. But we are about ready here, finally getting this going. I'm just on the tips of my toes here, Billy, as we get into map 1. Let's get your grand final started.
Well, I can't tell you how exciting this is. It's going to be University starting out here. If I'm looking at it correctly, this is either that or it's City Center. I got to make sure to take a look at this is University as we are looking at it coming out. So I'm expecting the Echo here. Honestly, I don't know if we're going to have the mirror or not, but we shall see as we enter into University. You know what, the brawl's going to be here. Looks like Kuffa is out on that Ramatra as we were looking for. And there is the Mei once again. So the Mei, in lieu of Rocket's Tracer, this is going to be a very interesting first engagement.
And Admiral's going to have their hands full, trying to keep Rocket at bay and getting into that back line where Skyle's on Baptiste. Doesn't have that swift step, doesn't have that escape that CJ has available to him, who's playing that Kiriko.
Well, it's all about setup right now. Northwood taking the high ground right now. Illinois looking for a bit of a wraparound. We're going to see if Will can actually, use these walls to best advantage. Can they stop the damage coming in from Haven, who was on one yesterday in their ABC matches?
Haven was trying to go into that off angle. Someone playing very up close and personal here in Calman's face. Got through a chunk of that armor. Calman is taking a boatload of damage. Great wall, and Calman's the first to fall in this battle. Lethal's able to deal with Rocket in the backline as well. No threats there on to Skyle and Admiral, and it's going to be ISU grabbing first control.
So it's all about sustain. It was all about sustaining, keeping Kuffa up in that first engagement. That wall coming out from Will was absolutely massive and completely sectioned Calman off. There's no swift step that's going to save him in that point. So now, they've got 20% just about, and the ult charge is absolutely astronomical between these two. CJ doing so well, matching Skyle heel for heel.
Northwood kind of split. Another great wall from MO. And DPS are up on the high ground, but Rocket and Vega make good of it. Now Vega's come to rejoin Calman here in this second fight. That has definitely got Northwood's favor. They're going to put this thing right back over, Billy.
There's that aggression that you were talking about just during in our opening, and that is Vega getting very aggressive with the speed engage. They said, yeah, we're not going to disengage for this fight. We're going into you. We're going to push past your flimsy little vortex and your shield, and we're going to have the power of friendship getting us on top of you. That was exactly what happened. Vega getting the first kill, Rocket following up.
Vega now leading in the sound barrier race as well. Lethal, the rest of ISU trying to go in through this short hallway. Rocket finds Skyle again. It's Rocket into the back line, but Calman has fallen. Amplification Matrix up here from ISU as they're trying to deal with CJ and Vega here on the flank. But no, it's just too overwhelming as Northwood win third fight.
Yeah, they took it into a small room, and I thought that they were going to have that window advantage. But you know what? I think there was a boot that came from Vega that knocked Skyle out of position and made a very wonky placement of that window. They did not get the full benefit of it, and that's why you see, once again, Northwood winning this fight out. Now you're looking at 3 ultimates here. Sound barrier going up against Kuffa. Kuffa was doing so well and still has been beaten just about to this annihilation race.
Pretty dead even here between Calman and Kuffa. Haven is just sitting up at the high ground throwing down shots. Sound barrier invested in from ISU to try to go back onto the point. Late sound barrier from Northwood. Rocket doesn't get it. Rocket is still under a lot of pressure in the back. Haven is looping around, trying to help them out. ISU moving on to the objective and a couple stitches inside the small room. Overclock here's top. Limon falls early, but they trade out for Kelman. DPS for Tank. Ooh, sliding shot from Haven. Finds Skyle. Northwood keep it going. They are approaching, taking this first sub-map.
I mean, that was basically the Illinois State's win condition there, and gets completely shut out. Haven with a perfect rotation coming around. And now Kaffa, he does have the Annihilation. At some point, Kelman put his Annihilation out there, so they do have that advantage. And now, basically for me, it's a race between CJ and Skyle to see who gets up to their ultimate first. It looks like CJ's going to do it about 18% ahead of Skyle, so Rush should secure this first point for them.
Such a strong ultimate push in. Help everybody else with the rest of theirs at 2. Northwood need more ultimates to close up this fight. Limon pressure on the high ground is a bit of a 1v2 up top. Roll out of fire down onto Vega. This is the final blow. Nicely done from Limon. Haven's a bit late to the party, but does eventually show up to find some revenge. Back on the objective, we're going to get a stick out of Rocket. 4 health left as they drop that pulse. Lethal flies through the sky, takes him down. That continuing rush was indeed used here from Northwood, and it's not going to be enough to secure this fight.
Okay, you turn that fight. Now you're going to stagger Calman out. There's not going to be any reinforcements unless the swift step is forced. Yeah, you got to disengage there. Calman, get out! Okay, he finally gets out. Holy cow, Vega, you dancing along the edge of a knife there, but now they're going to be pushing into this window coming from Skyle. Lethal and Maimon, exactly the same old charge. Look for them to pop that as soon as they get it online.
ISU's backup did not want to take that fight on the high ground, looking for a good place to use this amplification matrix. Skyle had to use their mortality field early. Getting a stick from Maimon to finish Calman off. Oh, Skyle's going to have to throw down the window here, Billy, with Calman down. It looks like Northwood are going to get out. Yeah, Rocket not able to get out, though.
No, I mean, they do that in the neutral, and now, Admiral's going to have sound barrier advantage coming into what could be our last fight. Really good stick from Will there. Onto Calman and gets the collateral damage. Let's see, I mean, they're going to go early with the window, so now look for Lethal to push through that.
That's an early Ant Matrix out from Skyle. Looks like it's ISU just moving back to the point when we snap back in. Limon falls, 5v4, favoring Northwood. Overclock pop here from Lethal on the high ground. Meanwhile, Cowman's pushed way far forward. Cellbeer just in the nick of time from Vega. Cowman was going in Dustin. Vega comes through to save their life with that beat. Northwood still 5 strong on the back of it. Now they've got a Kitsune rush here in the middle. Healing going down to Cowman in spades to keep the front line alive. 99-99 overtime fight with Northwood in control. Lethal falls and Northwood still maintain their player advantage. Cufflin's ready from the front door. The Lucio just barely gets the touch, but Admiral won't survive. Cufflin has to sacrifice himself to keep this going. Northwood are able to deal with ISU 1 by 1, and we'll take our first sub map.
So the May project worked for one fight, and then Northwood got really cagey and started trying to bait out the wall and the ice block from Will Mamone. So they started really taking advantage of the high ground, started marking where Will was, forces him off of the May and onto the Tracer. Once they forced that trade, ISU was always in the catch-up phase. So we need to see if they're going to be able to continue that on. City Center, this is where I expected the Winston. This is where I expect also Will to show us the Echo. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Rocket's going to show us the Symmetra to get him out of spawn. Cowman onto a D.Va. D.Va into Winton. D.Va usually wins that 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, but if Cufflin can avoid the D.Va, that's in a 1v1. If you just go straight up Winston versus D.Va. But Cufflin will have the ability to hold a lot more map with that bubble. Try to avoid this D.Va as they bounce around, dance around here in City Center. You see high ground control early, a premium here for ISU. Northwood, how are you approaching?
It looks like they're trying to flip the map, maybe?
Yeah, they're on stair side. I thought they might try to come back around, but no, they're going to go ahead and take engagement from stair side. We do get Rocket moving on to the point, so we don't get a free first control for Redbirds. Rocket trying to make their way into the backline. Did such a good job of getting on top of Style there in our first sub map. You see Lethal keeping a sharp eye out for Rocket at the moment.
It's all about pressure. It's all about absorbing it. You got to time the bubble. You got to time the stuff in. You got to time everything down. And we are now 60 seconds into this fight. Still no closer. Somebody getting captured. There we go. Finally, Northwood able to pressure ISU off. And Haven is on to Cassidy. This is going to provide a lot of annoyance here for Illinois State, especially if they can land onto the Tracer or onto Admiral and Lucio.
Yeah, it could make Mamone's life just an absolute living hell trying to get in here on Vega and CJ. CJ in particular. Northwood did grab control seemingly for free. We haven't really had a solid engage from either team. Here comes Kuffa in with a bubble. Got a little bit of damage down. Northwood still trying to catch up on heals here for Cowman. Eventually he'll get the D.Va back up into the yellow, get that extra armor. Overclock in from Lethal. Landed one shot onto Vega. Sound barrier's down, but not in time to save Haven. Gets one more shot onto Cowman. Cowman's trying to get out. The chase is on. They find Cowman eventually. And ISU will win the first true fight here on City Center. But man, look how much percentage Northwood got in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely fantastic. There goes Rocket in with the touch. But maybe think about putting the pulse out. No, probably going to die with it, yeah. I thought they might try to pulse and just continue to stagger first.
They are.
Yeah, I mean, this is that tippy tapping that we talk about all the time, where you're tapping your toes on the foot, you're sending one person, waiting it out, seeing, get them their cooldowns out, then going in and touching yourself. But as it stands, I mean, they're going to have 4 ultimates basically coming into this next fight. Kuffa, though, with this primal. It's going to be hard to get a lot of these mobile characters into a position where they can juggle them around and get the confirmed kill onto it. So I'd like to see them, go aggressive with this Kitsune rush, really push down on Haven. Really, Kuffa needs to be marking Haven to make sure they can get that bubble down in time.
Right now, Kuffa played on that far side. Just LOSing Northwood for the moment, using that bubble to stay alive. Has to jump all the way back. There's a lot of pressure from Northwood onto the Winston of ISU. Doesn't want to have to use that Primal Rage too early, but eventually has to pop it just to stay in this fight. Still not able to get much with it. Oh! Finds a Tracer, Kuffa! How did you pull that magic out of your hat? What an opening pick.
Yeah, the fact that's all they've used, it conserves their Kitsune rush. So now, if they do end up losing somebody down, they can actually pop the rush to kind of even the fight out.
Yeah, you can see Cowman was going to rejoin the rest of the squad as Northwood is looking to regroup off of the back of a couple of kills. It's enough to push the Redbirds back onto the objective. Overclock now out from Lethal. Keep them at bay. Looks like they're going to try to hit up that left side. Northwood scrambling for cover.
I love that. Now they're going to go ahead and put out, actually, it's going to be Northwood putting out a conceded rush, and there's the answer coming in from Skyle. And actually, Haven gets a win on it.
It's a dying wish from Skyle to try to get ISU. A bit of a counter punch. They need to make good on this. They're not able to find anything just yet. Haven keeping them at bay here with the Peacekeeper. Oh, landed one of those shots. Almost hit the second on Maimone. Cupman is down low. Can't afford to move in and help, so Maimone falls.
Well, they basically pushed it to last fight now. Okay, I mean, both Lucios hold on to their sound barrier. They know how very important that is and how stingy Admiral generally is. The Estonian does not like to press Q when they have it ready unless they're feeling their oats. So now, I mean, we're looking. It's going to be a race here for Lethal to get themselves up to their ultimate because, you know what? Haven hasn't pressed Q yet. The Deadeye still hasn't come outside. I think we can use that more as a zoning tool to try to prevent a last-second touch.
Well, that could be vicious. Try to hold ISU into a Sophie's choice. Lethal's managed to work their way through the stairs. Trying to apply a bit of a press here, but Rocket is able to push them back. Reclaim that stair ground here for Northwood. ISU trying to work around to the right-hand side. Here comes Maimone in the back. Rocket falling back to the point. Out comes the Deadeye eventually and does force Kuffa and the rest of ISU off the point. They are able to come in and touch just before the overtime starts and what is likely a final fight scenario. Sound barrier out here from Admiral. Maimone doesn't get it, but still gets topped off and are back in this fight. Vega still holding on to theirs. Northwood did not feel compelled to use their own sound barrier just yet. Kuffa goes in deep with the primal range, is able to pick up at least one with that. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of that primal range unfolds here in that final
Holy
fight.
cow!
We clip back to Lethal, popping off in the back, finding a pair with this overclock. ISU on track to send us to our third sub-map.
Hey, well, I mean, Calvin does have something struck. They're on the point, but they're not going to get away. No! There goes the explosion. Yep. I mean, that little punch there that prevents the touch there from Calman, even with the self-destruct. 99 to 100 there. They get the flip there at 60% or 59%. I tell you what, the game and counterplay coming through right now. You're watching Will and Rocket mark each other. Lethal and Haven have sparks flying between their eyes right now. And it's just been a support masterclass for these two. Kuffa, Kalman, two completely different schools of thought as far as how to play the tank position.
Yeah.
Kuffa, of course, more of the main tank variety. Kalman can play a lot of the main tank, as we used to know back in Overwatch 1, but it has more of that off-tank feel. And I think that's why it's thrives so well, but this is not the look I was expecting for Gardens.
No, but it's kind of not surprising. We're going back to what we saw in the first map. But Haven is sticking with that Cassidy coming in here, making sure they can keep Maimone quiet. Ooh. ISU with some good early positioning, and they do have, with Skyle on the Baptiste, that Immortality Field could allow for a little more staying power on this high ground. But despite that, ISU opt to drop down, perhaps valuing point presence over this high ground right now.
I'm shocked that they gave up high ground so easily. I think Kuffa got moved off, and that's why Skyle goes down right there with him. Bye-bye, Haven. Mimon gets him down. This should be the first control point going over to ISU. Now, I mean, with Kuffa gone, though, this should be a quick re-engage.
ISU do manage to get control first. Skyman pushing up, puts the pressure down on Lethal. Lethal was down about 1 health. We're able to slide out. Rocket there trying to finish him off. Gets punished, misses the pulse, and Lethal finds that final blow. Expect ISU to come storming back onto this objective immediately.
That's exactly what you're getting right now. And Maimone is looking for more. They're going to try and build up this pulse bomb. Lamp already out, though. That's an early deployance of that. Let's see if they get punished on the back of it.
Lethal coming up close to an overclock, and Calman is already down. Maimone didn't even have to use that pulse to do it. Consider rush out, but there's only 4 players from Northwood. Both support ultimates invested here from the Timberwolves. ISU will respond with 2 of their own.
Recharging.
Lethal up. Oh. The high ground drops down. Beautiful shot by CJ. And then there's Admiral, the bodyguard of the back line once again, firmly protecting Skyle.
I mean, what a flip, what a turn. These two are understanding that in the moment, Jeff, they are looking for any kind of wedge, be it a singular pick, be it a cooldown that comes out. They're immediately pouncing on it. This is the most proactive Overwatch that I have seen in about a year. They are absolutely capitalizing on everything. There's no slow play today.
Ooh. CJ with a huge opening pick on the Sky to start this off. ISU trying to just hold on as long as they can before their Baptiste gets back. Not a whole lot to ult to make that happen, and Kuffa can't survive, can't get up to that annihilation. Northwood with a big opening to make the slip. I think it's just a matter of how long can ISU hold, how much percentage can they build up in a losing fight.
Well, I mean, that's really the question of the day. Well, it looks like it's going to be about 5% more, so was that really worth it? I don't know, but you do have 3 ultimates coming in for the defense here for Northwood Blue. So, can Rocket live up to their prodigy name, get themselves in there, get a quick kill, or at least, at the very least, pull out the lamp and then go in there with everything behind it?
Well, I mean, we said Rocket's the best tracer in NA, but the slight caveat to that is Maimone is not from NA, and Maimone wins the better end of that duel right out of the gate. 5v4, granted ISU, Kuffa has the annihilation ready to go, and then they're just throwing him Hawk Fist down, and it's enough with a little help from Maimone to take Cowman out of the fight. Haven looking to respond, 5 Skyle with 1. Woo! Trying to get the Lucio, but Admiral will not die.
Eventually, well, there's a stick coming out from Rocket. They're investing heavy into this fight.
Yeah, considering they rushed thrown in from CJ as well. Here's the annihilation in response. Throws down that vortex onto Rocket to try to punish the Tracer, but Rocket is staying elusive, staying slippery. It takes Maimone to come in and help out. ISU have managed to find a lot of picks, but not managed to find control of the point just yet, Billy.
No, this is that tippy tap that we talk about all the time. Oh my word, you're finally done, you're finally down. And when the dust settles, both annihilations came out. We have the Kitsune Rush that has come out from CJ. That was 2 in that super extended long engagement. And now we're going to be back to where we were at square one with both Lucios holding on to their sound barriers. You're looking now for Will and Rocket absolutely even, but Lethal does have the advantage in the overclock department. Expected early overclock here to kind of establish their dominance here and really push towards that 100%.
Oh, and look at this positioning.
Lethal will stay quiet, waiting for the final moment to pull the trigger on this overclock. And that's when they emerge. Haven takes a miss from Kuffa and a shot from Lethal. What an early advantage. What a beautiful play. Set up and established here. I love these plays we've seen from Lethal over the past couple days. And this one in such a crucial moment will gift the map 1. ISU up 1-0 over the Timberwolves.
That is absolutely disgusting. We knew as soon as Lethal took that cubby hole in the minaret up there, something special was going to come out. I hate being right sometimes, but I knew that was going to be bloody. And that's exactly what happened. Lethal absolutely had the day. This is as close as it can be, Jeff. We are already 3 sub-maps in. I'm sweating. I'm shaking. And Admiral's just having a normal day at the office. Thank you very much.
God, look at how well Admiral is marking Rocket in that clip. That is absolutely nuts. I mean, and we were going on and on. I mean, just brimming with compliments here for Rocket and their Tracer play. Admiral shutting them down time and time again, and that was so key. If Rocket's able to get into the back line, those are the fights that Northwood is winning. But Admiral on that Lucio, particularly in that clip, just dancing, styling over Rocket.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. What I'm also loving is that I'm also looking at Vega playing so scarily good on that Kiriko of their own. The Kunai have found the dot. It's right there.
Right between the eyes.
It's right there. It does not seem to miss. So, I mean, the way that they're playing right now, it's going to be a pick here or there. Let's just be completely honest with each other. Unless they have that massive position advantage that Lethal just showed us, they popped it right when I thought they were going to get it. They got the maximum value out of it, even though they didn't get the final blows out of it like we were seeing yesterday. The rest of the team were able to clean up on the back of it, and that's what you want to see. And they're absolutely zooming as a 5-man unit right now.
In our grand finals, we knew it's going to be a game of pixels. We knew it was going to come down to micro decisions and just those little plays. It's going to be the difference maker between being a champion or going home in second place. We're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're headed to map 2. It's Escort around the corner. Don't go away. Man, we've already had a bit of strategy and mind games, and we're only one map in, Billy. We saw the May come out, win a fight, then Rocket was able to get around that, circumvent to the back, get some kills, start opening things up. Northwood able to win that first sub-map. But then, after University, it was all ISU. As soon as you saw Cufa switch over to the Winston, the Redbirds took over.
I mean, Winton, Overwatch, always happy.
I mean, Winston Overwatch was born here in Arlington, Texas. That's where the meme came from. It came from here. There's a street called Winston, around the corner.
I saw it on the map of my car. I'm like, hey, Winton.
That's where it came from. Yeah.
So
yes,
greetings.
what better place than the birthplace of Winston Overwatch for Cufa to pull out the monkey and, well, I mean, leading the charge against the most winning team in collegiate Overwatch.
It was super close there on Oasis, and I think that Haven not kind of going into that mirror with Lethal on the Sojourn, really deciding that the Cassidy was the way to go.
Yeah.
I don't think that they got the value that they thought they were going to get out of it. So when we go into Gardens, we saw them go back into the mirror, had a lot more success. Once again, 99 to 99. This is the hairline here. So now we're heading to Route 66, and we were trying to decide if Ariel was going to come in or not, and well, nope. That is definitely not happening as we look at our squads. No substitutions whatsoever. So I am expecting Cufa and Calman to once again be butting heads. Cufa did not feel any pain going up against that diva. I thought that Calman, the caliber of diva that Calman has, I thought would have made Cufa's life a living hell. Cufa has way too much experience on the monkey to get away from it.
That's his self-proclaimed best hero.
Yes.
I mean, that's when we were talking to Cufa on Friday with the interview. He was telling me, Winston is his best hero, he feels. So Cufa is very happy to take this matchup and is very versed at playing against the diva, knows how to avoid, again, like I mentioned in the first map, isn't going to take just a straight-up head-on duel against the diva, knows how to play around the diva and circumvent, play around the boosters, and create the space necessary for Lethal and Mamone to get the job done.
Now, to take a look at kind of the strategy that went behind this, as we talk about the bans, Northwood immediately took Dorado out of the question. Winston Playground right there. But then something smart. They take Circuit. ISU takes Circuit out of there. So no Sigma for you, no Diva for you, no Doomfist for you. We're going to put you into our area. And so, when you look at Route 66, there are quite a few tank heroes that you can play here. So I think that it's the best of both worlds for both teams. It just depends on who's going to get the better of it. Well, I'm still leaning towards Cufa and the Winston.
Absolutely. On Route 66, I think this is Northwood's pick, but it plays well in what ISU want to do. ISU want to avoid the poke. Calman has a spectacular Sigma, and they have really good snipers on that Northwood squad as well. ISU are doing everything they can to avoid the long-range battle. It's a lot of EU players plus Cufa, which means that they're well-versed in the brawl. We saw them excel with the Ramatra, even better on the Winston comps. So if ISU are able to keep it with that realm, I think they're going to be in good shape here for the rest of the series.
I think it will come down to a sniper. I think that being able to crack open the defense and get somebody off the board early, I think that plays into Northwood's hands. I think that if they can get that man advantage,
I don't know if they're going to make it happen on Route 66, though.
So hard.
It's difficult. It's
hard. I would not be surprised to see a Hanzo come out here. And I know that Hanzo has not been in very good repair right now, but I give you two reasons. If Northwood are indeed facing up against this Cufa Winston, shield break potential. Also, the ability to not have your ultimate eaten and really cleansed out that well. So, I mean, you're looking at, the Storm, or the Dragon Strike. God, I can talk today. I really can. It's almost 11 o'clock in the morning. It's not peak gamer hours. But,
caffeine's still kicking it.
Thank you to my husband for bringing us Red Bulls this early in the morning. But still, you're looking for, I'm looking for shield break potential. I'm looking for a change, a departure from the normal. I think that's what's going to win a championship. Even just for one fight, we saw
Tree try to pull that out against him yesterday, and it didn't go so well. So
Got some picks though.
That was off stream where we saw Winthrop versus Northwood, and Northwood were able to win that one in a 3-1. Tree did actually pull out the Hanzo in that series, and I think for some of these reasons you're talking about, plus the recon arrow being able to mark Rocket on the other side.
Yes.
Info is power, so if you want to shut down the best tracer in an A, you need to know where they're trying to attack you from. The recon arrow can give you some of that knowledge. So, but again, Northwood won that map, so we'll see if ISU tried something different or if they want to stick with what's worked for them so far.
If you have ever been on a stream with us, you know that we like to talk incessantly about how we think things are going to go. We try to pick into the minds of these players that we have gotten to know all these years, and that's why we try to extrapolate what we think is going to happen, what we think could work based upon things that, the external stimuli here of the LAN environment. Like you said, I saw Tree doing the same thing yesterday. Put a Ramatra Shield under a lot of duress. Yeah. It was also going up against a Sigma. Put it up against a Sigma's experimental barrier. Was forcing the recall all the time. So, I saw the value of the Hanzo. Going into a flimsy Winston bubble, I definitely think that you can get some work going on. But you know what? We had a couple of little tech issues on Northwood side. Those have been taken care of. Get us in a game, Mr. Producer. We want to see Route 66. We don't see it very often, Jeff.
I know. It's a bit of a treat we get here for our grand finals here at NECC Legends. Let's get into map number 2. Northwood down 0-1. It was their map pick, and they're going to be starting us off on the defense. CJ throwing out the question. Are y'all playing Monkey? Cuffa says, of course. Why, of course.
Monkey? Greetings!
And now here is something we saw yesterday as well. We saw Winthrop, try to play the brawl against Calman Sigma. Calman has brought out the Sigma in places where you might think you wouldn't normally see a Sigma. Calman will make it work, and that's exactly what we're seeing here for the defense from Northwood. As we get into Route 66, map 2 has begun.
That's an unusual Symmetra teleport. I think they had this plan, and they're looking to take control of Big Earls very early. Watch for a jump in coming from Cuffa. But there goes the swamp right now. We're getting the protective back line for Grandma. Lethalo does have the Widow out here looking for an early grub shot, an early kill. Oh my God, get it!
Oh, what an opener for Lethal. That was an enormous shot.
Whoa!
And we'll follow it up with another headshot onto CJ as well. Nothing but red dots here in the corner for Lethal. Give me a third one. Come on, bud.
I just about blew Jeff's poor ear out there. He's never been here with a squeal from Billy. And that is exactly what we needed to see. My word, Lethal absolutely opening up this map. Big Earls belongs to the Redbirds. And now Rocket has been completely taken out of the question right now.
Rocket is down low, moved in from the short side, but the rest of the team came through high ground. Lethal playing on top of Big Earls behind that sign, forced back by the creation rock out of Calman. Calman has since moved down to stop this cart from rolling forward, but Rocket gets caught out. It's coming able to find one-man Memo. We haven't even got a chance to discuss this Genji because Lethal has been so outstanding. But Memo's on the Cyber Ninja, and here causing problems as well. Bionade was thrown in from Skyle, kind of forced Calman to stay back. Skyle just pumping heals, and the Nano down onto Admiral. Great boss in full effect, trying to force Calman and the rest of Northwood off of this objective. About 3.5 meters away. Immortality field used here from Northwood. The Rocket has returned to the fight with a pulse bomb for Skyle. Memo's pulled out the katana though, picked up 2, picked up 3. Redbirds get a point on the board.
What an impressive push. Look at that time bait, 4:42 as we're going through now. And Cuffa hasn't even pulled out a primal yet. We've had the blade, we've had the nano come out, and
not used together, by the way.
Correct. No, we went raid boss. I love that call. Trying to keep Admiral up and keeping the pressure in the front line to deal with Cowman. But now we've got Flux ready to go. So that's going to put a little bit of a stop here unless Cuffa and Lethal can get some work done.
They're holding Northwood back into the cave at the moment. Woo! That was a nice dodge from Emone. The spider senses were tingling on that one as the accretion whizzed by their ear. Lethal takes a shot, has still stuck with the Widowmaker. Gravitic Flux found two. I think there's one caught in that inside the garage as well. Not able to get the final blow on the back of either of that. Meanwhile, Lethal has picked off the most difficult target in the game to hit with a Widowmaker. And once again, it's a +1. Granted, Cowman hit with a Bionade. No heals to speak of. Trying to get top back off, but there's a lot of damage coming in. Admiral, once again with the rally, does get punished, but does enough damage for Ramon to finish off what they had started. ISU flawless through Route 66 so far.
I mean, there was maybe a little bit of a pause there. You're maybe looking to see if Rocket can get a last-second touch. I mean, they're 93 to pulse bomb, so I think that Northwood should be able to get at least a little bit of a broken fight here, because you cannot give up a time bank like this to the Redbirds, not with what they have online. And yeah, Cowman now back out onto the signature Diva, looking for that damage mitigation once again and getting onto the lethal Widow in the back line.
Rocket just hearing those bullets fly by. Two land onto the Diva in lieu of Rocket hiding away. Kuffa's already been able to finish off Vega. We will not see the rally through this fight, but Rocket does make good on that one pulse bomb they had. Still, you've nothing to do with Will! Will gets 4!
No shot. No shot. That is absolutely brutal.
Oh, spectacular performance out of the young Welsh. Oh my, pulling up the Genji ability. Something I do not expect to see today.
No, that was not on my bingo card, and well, I don't think it was on CJ and Vega's card either. He's been absolutely haunting the back line. Now the sights are out. They're going to know exactly where they need to go with this upcoming blade. There's so much online. Oh my God, get him.
Who does Lethal think you are, Pine? What is this flank? You know you want it. Everybody from Northwood are keeping their heads tucked. I don't think they knew Lethal was there until that shot just came out. You see Vega was not expecting that at all. Cowman is down at critical levels as Rocket does eventually pick off the Widowmaker in the back. CJ pumping into heals, but that was a good Bionade on to Cowman. They still have not caught up. But with that opening pick, ISU has backed away.
I mean, Kuffa's going to be the key to them getting in here now, unless they decide to go aggressive with this blade coming up. But there is both forward ultras ready to go, and a lamp to keep everybody alive. Never mind, Haven's gone. This could be the time for them to go.
Moon into the back line. Rocket already low amplification matrix out. Kuffa pops the primal rage to knock everybody out from in front of that double damage, and has several people caught in that. Picks up CJ, loops around. Nope, out of there after taking out the most important kill they could find. Now Kuffa's feeling a little more zen and headed into the back line. It's going to be the Katana pulled out. The Dragon Blade looking to cut through one. Has to throw up the deflect against the Sojourn. Turns to hide. Meanwhile, Kuffa there with a Tesla cannon, taken down 2.
Yeah, but the space made by that blade right there forces everybody's heads to turn, and it gives them this extra meter to go up here, and also gives both your supports a chance to get their ultimates online. CJ and Vega back out on speed characters.
And nowhere close to what ultimates for Northwood. Another huge Bionade lands on the Cowman. They have to pop their Annihilation just to put the hands up and stay alive. Deadeye popped from Lethal from the high ground. The sound quiets for a moment, looking for a skull, looking for an edge, looking for a lead. But Kuffa and Motive already delivered that. Lethal sat back and watched as the rest of ISU push in. 2 minutes on the time bank, 3 points on the board.
That was clinical. It was surgical. It was methodical. And really, after the first opening Lethal headshot, that payload never stalled out.
Barely.
It was all, I mean, I think
just barely.
Right there, I guess 2 little small, maybe speed bumps.
Yeah, small speed bumps.
Small
speed bumps that were like 12 years old and have already been filed down a little bit.
Yes, but I mean, they just had the control of high ground the entirety of points A and B. You had Lethal going on these weird flanks, and Maimon was in their back line deflecting. I mean, they didn't have any idea. There was no tracing. There was no eyes on the DPS of ISU anywhere.
Oh, my.
Oh.
Yeah, we're getting word from our producer that one of those headshots onto Rocket was while they're in the middle of a gravitic flux. Yeah.
Ice.
Just to add more impressiveness to this run. And another really good indication on that was we never saw the swap. You'd expect to see Lethal come out on point A, maybe gets a pick or something, and then they get through point A, but you're forced to swap off eventually. Northwood never made that happen. ISU were able to keep Lethal on the Widowmaker, and they continue to pick heads all the way to the back of point C.
And this is what we were talking about with this Winston composition. We were talking about Skyle and Admiral. How well they were able to keep each other up and keep this Winston going yesterday. It's happening again today. They are absolutely able to take care of themselves. Even when Rocket does get a pulse bomb on one of them, the other one's able to turn. They have the peel coming back. They've really, really solidified themselves as one of the best backlines in Collegiate.
And it's just making Cowman have to second guess every move. Who's gone over to a Malga, by the way. I mean, that's still the damage passive from the DPS has been increased, and I feel like Malga feels that buff for the DPS passive more than any other tank.
I mean, is it crit? I mean, is it still at 35%? Does it go up to 50%? That's the question for me. I haven't actually limit tested it in my games, so we'll see how that goes down.
That landed.
The big thing is that they're not running the computing ghost, so they're not able to clean the burning status effects. It doesn't matter, though.
No, and it's, even though CJ had a Suzu, it still wasn't enough to cleanse the entirety of the squad. Haven ends up falling. Cowman is now purple once again off of another beautiful bio-nade. Then Skyle delivers pick after pick.
I mean, this is absolutely dirty. I mean, Skyle on the back of these anti-nades have been really the difference makers. As far as from like the mid-fight to the conclusion of a fight, the focus fire onto the purple targets has been absolutely clinical from the Redbirds. So I would expect to see after we get a cage match in here, I would expect to see, Cowman go to something a little different.
I mean, who do you even cage match? Try to catch Kuffa with it, I suppose? Maybe Memone? I don't think you're going to be able to make it into the back lodge. Now the Nano Boost thrown on the Memone, and we're going to get a classic Nano Blade out. Unfortunately, just like classic Nano Blade, it doesn't do a whole lot. As Memone gets stuck way behind enemy lines.
That might have been an ego blade. But you know what? Lethal's going to try and even things up here.
A shot or two. That was a headshot. Still not able to put one back into spawn. Ooh, Haven so low. For Lethal force back out of their rocket, giving up pursuit after landing a pulse. Northwood finally able to get something going here on Route 66.
Yeah, I mean, it was on the back of the blade, though. It was because they weren't playing as a 5-man unit. They sent Memone into the back line to try to deal with both Haven and with Vega, and they just turned the tables on them. And that puts them in a 4v5 situation. They were able to capitalize on the back of that. So now, are you going to invest this primal to contest, or you know what? You just kind of back off, get control of the high ground here, and use the Admiral rally to kind of solidify your point 2 hold.
Long distance shot from Haven there. Weapon still very low, just hiding out while this cart inches forward. Gives some time for Cowman to push out, decide whether they want to move up on top of the garage.
Oh.
Side Kuffa hiding off in the corner, and I think that magnetic grenade kept him from escaping. It is going to be the cage fight used to hold Kuffa down, who pops a primal raid just to try to stay alive through all of this. Does survive the cage fight. Manages to live to fight another day.
Speaking of what's happening right now, Will has actually come out on the echo that I expected to see earlier.
Yep, indeed, saw that.
And well, Rocket takes Skyle down again, so Admiral's not getting that peel around for the honor that we saw so good yesterday. Yeah.
What a clutch. Little flick from Haven. I mean, with Memone so close to that duplicate, that they could have really caused a lot of problems, but Haven shuts that down before it can even begin.
Well, the good thing for ISU is that they're going to have 4 ultimates in this fight. Now, are they going to risk the touch? I think that you have to, with what the time bank is right now. I mean, you're going to add a minute and a half here, so it's going to be 4 minutes, so they're going to have to wait for 2 minutes. There's the Nano Boost going on to the Malga.
And here we have the duplicate used, it is on to the duplicate Malga. The real Malga is sleeping. Memone eventually fell, but it does allow time for the rest of ISU to get out here and contest. Someone's able to pick up one rally talk here from ISU. I don't know if they have the punching power without Lethal here in this fight, though. Still a meter to go. Cowman had a bubble in their face. Man, those Gatling guns are so good at clearing off the objective.
I mean, they buy themselves 30 seconds, though, based upon a 4-minute time bank to 3:27. Yeah, there was a lot that was invested into there. I mean, look at Lethal going back to the Soldier once again. Will back to the Tracer. But now Kuffa's bringing out the hamstrung donkey horse. Kuffa's going to have a really hard time trying to hold space here.
Yeah, Oasis in a tough spot. Where the Javelin spin cooldown is now increased by 2 seconds, and Fortify only lasts for 2.5 seconds. Oasis in a real tough spot. Especially with Skyle back in the grave. ISU are just looking for any safe haven they can find.
Well, Haven is not safe for ISU.
Hey-oh.
And now we're going to look. I mean, they got the Deadeye here, so I mean, that will zone everybody off. Calman just needs to basically get everybody into this cage fight and let rip.
Yeah, ISU needs to stabilize. They're kind of at this awkward double flex support moment. Lethal's already been known by the Deadeye cage fight, been used. Kuffa is going to fall. There's nobody even out there to touch. Mimone is able to stall out for just a little bit, but there's no reinforcements. Northwood will finish with 18 more seconds than ISU.
That is, I mean, that's at least one engagement-ish. The good thing is for both teams is that they're going to have time to get ultimate cycles up. So this may not be a stomp of a overtime here for everybody as we go to the extra innings. It will be ISU coming out first with the deficit in time, but still, I think that defensively, point A, point B kind of were washes for both teams. I think that Northwood honestly pushed a lot cleaner. Kuffa was indecisive in who to play other than the Winston there. I think that you could have brought the Ramatra out there, had a lot of fun, tried to do your thing up against them. I think that they just chose the wrong tank to try to make their stand inside of the hideout because of how badly Orisa just got beat down. By the way, I hate you, Blizzard, for that. Why did you do that to my girl? How dare you? But, I mean, obviously, changes need to be made. So we'll see now. Kuffa versus Cowman once again. Can Lethal come out and get that early pick once again that we saw them open up point A from their first attack?
I saw that Chengdu Hunter spray. I respect it. I respect it. That was the cute Hunter spray, too. Lethal not pulling out the Widowmaker this time around. Over to the Soldier. Mimone sticking with the Tracer. So ISU kind of a little bit back to their old look, but Admiral is on this Kiriko instead of being on the Lucio or the Brig to help protect Skyle's Hunter.
That is two reasons. One, more mobility, being able to get back to your Ana. The second reason is because you need to cleanse the people on fire. Well, then they didn't do that to Lethal, so there's their first choice out the game.
With that coming in, it's going to push in. Bounty lands, and they have to just turn tail and run. Just the Cardionic overdrive is fading.
Wow.
Yeah, good shot on the opening on the Kuffa. I mean, it turns out 2 Gatling guns are really dangerous for a Winston.
I mean, I'm surprised that we don't have Lethal out here onto the Widowmaker, just looking for an early one-shot pick. Here would also be a good opportunity to bring out the Hanzo, with being able to have the vision to see where Cowman's setting him so that you can't get these early combos.
ISU looking to take over the top of the gas station, but Lethal can't make it up there in time. Bubble was just a touch late. Now the Bubble does protect the res. Admiral will fall for that attempt to bring another player back. Power of Friendship not working out too well, though Lethal does pick up one. Kuffa is back in this fight, back up onto the high ground. Oh my gosh, but the Bubble fell down low. That was a sad monkey. Sad monkey.
I mean, I just feel like they've kind of been running their heads at a brick wall here. I mean, I guess you're playing for overclock here. I guess that's your answer. And Kuffa doesn't even get a primal out. It's just gone over to the Orisa. Once again, I think Ramach is the better choice than the Orisa in this moment.
Just a matter of what Kuffa feels comfortable with, I suppose. Time fading fast. ISU with their last opportunity here on Route 66. DPS ult at the ready. Lethal has been instrumental here for ISU. They need him now. The Turkish Warrior unleashes their ultimate. Continue rush out here from Northwood. Rocket played off the back line. Decides to go in and drop a pulse, but it's Mimone who finds 2 on the back of their own ultimate. Lethal is able to make good as well. So the Redbirds not done here on Route 66.
They are not indeed, but I mean, Admiral's still on this Mercy. Kind of expensive as well. I mean, you get the Nano, Pulse, and the Overclock out. So, I mean, you're looking now Terra Surge, possibly, if Cup can get that up. Admiral will have Valkyrie, so that'll be a stall potential as well. So I mean, there's a few weapons here, but the big problem is that they're going into sound barrier and into this cage fight once again.
Cup in a little bit of a dance, staying out of that radius of Calman, knowing that cage fight's ready to go. Good pick for Memo to start things off, and that sound barrier is off the table for now. Wyatt needs to close this out quickly. May not have to deal with it whatsoever. Predator Javelin lands onto Calman, and they're forced back a little bit. Still playing that dance, trying to avoid the cage fight, and eventually throw it down, and Cup is caught in it and gone. Admiral pops the Valk and gets the res off. Here comes Kappa trying to bail their mercy out. Stuck in that very pivotal frame. We are going to end up with Northwood coming up with a pair of crucial kills here in overtime. ISU are able to get close to the back of point A, but they're not able to cap.
I mean, there's giggles going around. I can feel that. I mean, I would expect something silly to come out from ISU here, to be quite honest. It's 2 minutes, 18 seconds they need to defend against. Basically have to defend all of point A. So they're going to have time to set up their defense. They're going to have time to know what kind of pathing we're looking at. Also, what kind of personnel that Northwood are going to be bringing out here. I mean, they're 1-0 up here in our grand final. They have, decent progress here. Let's just see how impressive ISU want to go here. Northwood, though, looking to tie up our series. This would be a huge boon for them should they be able to win it.
This is a very, very important 2 minutes and 18 seconds. It's either Northwood tying us up, evening up the series, locking it down heading into halftime, or ISU moving to championship point. Map 2, so pivotal in any best of 5 or any first of 3 as we call it in Overwatch.
You know what I'm surprised at? That we're not seeing Skyle come out on the Zenyatta, because that would burn Kalman down in a hurry and force a tank swap. Because Skyle has a good Zenyatta.
I'm kind of surprised they're not sticking with the Ana itself. The Biodades are very good against preventing Amaga from being able to sustain. Amaga relies on that self-healing to keep themselves in a fight. And one cooldown from Ana can immediately shut that down. But Skyle's going to opt for the maneuverability and the Suzu, something's available with a Kiriko.
Well, high ground control right now on the bus big roll. They've got a premium. They're going to have to watch the rocket on the side. Yeah. They've already marked that rocket's looking for that side angle.
Dangerous drop down from Lethal. They're trying to help Mimone down low. You got to keep Rocket under guard at all times. Unlock and key as much as possible. Then to turn on a Calman. They're going to use that rush just to get on out.
Oh my God.
Flank from Haven. Woo! Trying to chase Lethal around. Admiral's the one that falls through that, but Lethal is able to win the duel on top of Big Earls. Here comes Mimone to back him up. Suzu used to prevent that cap. Recall used. Meanwhile, Rocket picks up a pair. Make it 3 for Rocket.
We are just about a GG moment here. And, I mean, Mimone is closest right now with a pulse bomb. Rocket already has theirs online, how much work they got done there in that first extended engagement. So, I mean, they're going to have to make a touch here. We're just about at the 5-meter mark.
Yeah, that box of victory is super close. Northwood will get 2 chances at this. Rocket on the cart right now with the pulse. Trying to blink up top. Doesn't land. 6 around up top, but got 30 seconds health and has to recall back onto the objective. Where Kuppa is holding it down. Meanwhile, Lethal gets one, but Kelman finishes them off just as they're about to fire that death blow onto Haven. And that might have been just enough to save this. The combat roll from Haven will keep them alive through Moon's pulse bomb, and Northwood will tie us up.
That is, I mean, more than I expected, honestly. After the first ISU attack, I thought Northwood might have been in shambles. They recollect themselves. They rally around each other, and they find a way through. And I tell you what, Haven has been absolutely magical here in Route 66 in keeping Lethal contained and in keeping the back line of ISU contained as well. With that Cassidy, with the grenade, with the combat roll, everything that is in Cassidy's new kit, really keeping them on their toes and really giving them that little extra tipping power there. You know, I was talking about why didn't Haven want to kind of lean into the mirror with Lethal. I think this is why right here. The combat roll, the magnetic grenade denying the mobility has really reared its ugly head up against this ISU squad.
Oh, we saw that pick there in the play of the game, that pick onto Lethal as ISU was trying to rotate to the top of Big Earls. That one kill shut down ISU's attack in extra innings, set Northwood up for that map win, and set us up for a tie game headed into map number 3. We're going to take a little break for halftime, and when we come back, it's going to be Flashpoint. NEC Legends Grand Finals continues. Don't go away. Our grand finals all tied up here at NECC live from Arlington, Texas for our Legends grand finals. My goodness, what a clapback. ISU capped with a ton of time, Billy, but Northwood were not dismayed in the slightest.
Nah, they had a plan. They had a reason why they brought us to Route 66, and that was to unleash Haven. Haven did a lot there with the Cassidy, and I think that, I don't think they expected Lethal to come out with the sniper and to stick with it so long. And, I mean, the fact that they were getting the value with it. So, I mean, once they got past that, once they got the steamroll going through, there was a 2-minute time in it. But then we see Northwood come through and get a 2:18. And it takes them basically a fight and a half to capture what they needed to get the win there on Route 66 on the back of Haven playing Cassidy. Love what I see from them. So, now, map number 3, we're headed to Flashpoint. And, well, you know what? They're like, hey, we get a ban a map here. No, you don't. No, you don't. There's only 2 maps. You get to choose which map.
Our teams were very insistent on wanting to ban something out here. Like, wait a minute. We only have 2. We only have 2. You can't ban both maps. I mean, you want to ban some other, You could ban control maps from being played here on Flashpoint. Like that's feasible, I suppose.
Yes.
Suravasa, memes aside, is the choice, the less silly of the 2 maps. So that'll be our stage for who's going to take our lead here in our championship game.
So I think the flow of Suravasa is why ISU has brought us here. Because New Junk City, there's more of an aerial threat. There's more high ground to worry about as well. There's more of the elevation change. I'm thinking about Ducks. I'm thinking about Refiner, and even especially Junkyard.
Absolutely.
Junkyard, I think, is the most difficult of all the flashpoints that we have. All the 10 different flashpoints across the 2 maps. I think that Junkyard is the most difficult to try and retake once a team has come through. So I think getting away from New Junk City, absolutely the right call. Plus, Suravasa is just so damn beautiful.
It is a gorgeous map, no doubt about that. You can see this beautiful fly through here. It would surprise me to see a Joker Queen come out from ISU in this map. Speed, obviously extremely important. Rotation's very important here on Flashpoint. But so far, it looks like ISU is sticking with a little bit of the old fastball. A little bit what we've seen so far, at least in the tank role. They won't come back out of that Echo, though.
I do like the Echo here. I like the Echo here, but I think you're going to have running up against Rocket's probably going to bring out as the Tracer again. I mean, you would be stupid not to. But I think that Kuffa should not be on this Winston right now. They don't have the Ana there to give you the nano engages. So if they are going to stick with it, which they are, I mean, it's going to come down to can Lethal deal with Rocket and Haven. Haven back over to the Sojourn.
Yeah, we're back to our Sojourn battle. Skyle's going with the Kiriko. It's so hard to keep an Ono alive on Suravasa. There's just no good place to stick it on almost any of these objectives. So, gotta have the Kiriko. Gotta have the swift step to escape. The Suzu to give you that vulnerability required here on the fastest areas map of the Suravasa. Both teams taking up positioning on either sides of this long opening on markets. Doesn't mean Northwood out a little bit closer to the point. Oh, and Kuffa is late to challenge, so a free pickup here for Northwood of the objective. They're moving percentage this whole time.
Yep, and I mean, they should get to at least the 40% mark before they're able to build up anything of consequence. I mean, Lethal, 60%, Memon, 60%. You're looking at CJ. They're going to have a massively fast Kitsune Rush at 87% already. Are you kidding me?
Well, they're going to have to do without Haven, though, as Lethal is able to win that Sojourn battle. We'll see if CJ wants to invest this rush early, or even if ISU can wrestle this point out from underneath Northwood. Here comes that Kitsune Rush, the first ultimate available here of the lobby, and Northwood are going to take this 4v5. Lethal trying to back him out, immediately pops that overclock the moment it becomes available. Somehow leaves it back up top. Admiral has already gone down. He can get used from Memon onto a Tracer. Good enough to hunt down Vega out of the back line. Trying to find CJ as well. Figure that one out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Pardon the hiccup here. Fritz will listen to this fight unfold. I heard those Tracer shots go in.
Well, I have nothing to say because I don't know what happened in that last fight other than Northwood Blue won it.
The thing is, with ISU giving up free control,
Yeah.
Northwood are able to build up percentage that whole time. I mean, it really came down to a little bit of a miscommunication, I think, between Admiral and Cuffa and Mamone of who was supposed to be contesting.
I mean, they put out the ultimates that should have flipped the fight in their favor, but you know what? I mean, full credit to Northwood. They were able to flip that around. So, I mean, now you're looking at double support ultimates here for Illinois State to be able to push into, and a primal. They should take first control here. Cowman not quite up to the cage fight just yet.
The macro of Flashpoint is so interesting and it's so worthy of Northwood to invest both support ult to get that first point on the board. And Northwood are going to get first control here as well. Here on our second Flashpoint. Come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, program. You can do it.
Well,
I hear a Katrina rush coming out from Illinois State.
okay.
I think we were on with Admiral there for a moment. That was a double kill. I heard a double kill happen. Hey! ISU got control of the point. What do you know? Apologies, friends. We're having a little bit of a tech issue on our side, but hopefully we're good now.
Well, coming in this fight, I mean, you got Admiral, once again, very stingy with the sound barrier. But Lethal says, I'm going to go with Overclock right away.
Yeah, another lethal flank. This one not working out as well for him. So, pulse pop go in. Don't know if anyone got anything with that one or not. Consider rush now. Excuse me, that was an overclock coming in from Haven. You hear the shots of fire.
Yeah, I can hear the shots. I just can't see them.
See that? There we go. Try to get our feedback over here for you, friends. I know Cuffa's not in this fight. That's not good.
No trade's coming out of me, but Cowman, they've completely put it in there. And now they've invested a sound barrier into a lost fight. I don't know what is going on here.
I mean, it's Flashpoint. The macro of Flashpoint is just so different. It's worth investing in just to try to keep the team and hold on to it. You play your ultimates very differently on Flashpoint than you do on, say, Escort.
Yeah, I mean, we can see if it's actually going to work or not. I mean, you're at 94% counting and climbing here, and my feet is frozen. Unfortunately, once again, I don't know what's going on.
Well, we're in overtime here, and ISU have no ultimates to work with. This is looking like Northwood going up 2-0 here on our Flashpoint now.
That's a pulse bomb coming out. I'm going to assume that came out from Mamone. Hopefully they got something with that. I didn't hear anybody die on the back end. There goes Mamone down. Yeah, that wasn't backed out of Mamone. But extrapolating what's going on here with the feed, I'm not sure how we're going to be able to get through this. There we go, Cuffa down. There's Cuffa taking Haven down. We'll see if they're able to turn this around or not.
Yep, Vega coming up at the kill feed. Northwood grab that second point. Yeah, this is looking to be a very quick Flashpoint. ISU not found an answer to this Mauga. Northwood very wisely pulling out the newest tank to counter Cuffa's strongest hero. Yeah, Cuffa's finally making that swap to Junker Quinn I anticipated earlier in this match.
So now we're going to try and pull Cowman in position. I think that's a play here. Either pull, you're looking for either Haven or Vega in the back line, or you're looking to displace Cowman out of their own position right there. Work with Gracie, combo, and you keep the commanding shout to keep you up in the fight.
So it's an early cage fight coming up. Cowman try to get that advantage here on the third and final some point needed here for Northwood to claim this map. CJ lighting up the feed. Northwood back in control. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the Junker Queen is working much better than the Winston did.
I mean, this is just a Malgadif at this point, and I don't know what else they can do here to really change things out. So we'll see if they're able to use anything on the back of this Admiral sound barrier. Otherwise, they're going down match point.
Woo! Haven's already found lethal from the very beginning of this. What a good start. Northwood is looking as indomitable as ever here on Suravasa. Every time we come back, it's Northwood's got a different kill in the feed. ISU, I think this one is just GG go next. Come back on push and see what you can do.
Yeah,
You'll eventually get an overclock. I heard a sound barrier in the mix too.
Yeah, I think that you have to play in the cup of strengths here, or we have to go somewhere where Malkin can't feast. And we'll see what they're going to make the decision on that. I mean, good for Will to get the kill going in there now, but I mean, they have not dealt with Cowman, and that's going to be something they're going to have to talk about here because that is 1-2 done. Last second touch from Will. I mean, they'll get the recall and then they'll be eliminated, and that'll be it right there. That is a 3-0 Flashpoint win here to Northwood University, and they go up 2-1 in our grand finals on the back of some serious Malgo play, both on Route 66, and now here in Siravasa, Rocket is just dirty with it.
The Malga pick, it was the smart move, it was the big brain out of Northwood to counter what ISU has been bringing, what has been working for ISU. And, well, now it is up to the Redbirds to see if they can find something else. If they can dig deep, what else do they have in the war chest, Billy? What else can they show us to try to turn this around? Otherwise, it will be Northwood taking yet another grand finals. We're going to take a quick break before we figure all that out. Hopefully, we'll get some answers on the other side. We'll see you in map 4. ready to get into the conclusion of our NECC Legends Grand Finals live from ESA here in Arlington, Texas. Before we get into that, I want to give a big shout out to our friends over at Reactor Gaming. We're giving away a custom-built PC here in the building to somebody, some lucky winner here at ESA. So big shout out and thank you to our friends over at Reactor Gaming. Billy, what do you have there? I noticed you picked up something shiny during our break.
Mine.
It's not yours.
Okay, no, this is the trophy that's going to be given to our grand finalist winner. It is our NECC Overwatch trophy, and well, one of these two teams, I mean, look at this. Look at how gorgeous this is.
Gorgeous.
It's pretty hefty, too.
Yes. Yeah,
I mean, it's got some weight to it. So
I was holding it between, and you're like, whoa! Yeah, gorgeous trophies. What on the line here between our two championship competitors headed into this. And well, as we head into our push map, I think the one question on all of our minds is, do ISU have an answer for Calman's Maga?
I don't know if they do. I don't think it's necessarily all up to Kuffa either.
No, certainly not.
I think that we need to see some fundamental changes coming out from the DPS line here for ISU. If they're going to deal with this Mauga, they need to kind of chunk him down faster than what a Tracer and a Sojourn can do. I think that the Ana was part of the right idea, okay? Sombra, Junkrat, Reaper. 3 heroes right there that can make life hell for a Mauga. Also Symmetra, if you want to use it to get out of spawn early. Perhaps you get the microwave beam up to level 3 and start burning away at all that armor and everything that Mauga brings to the table and force all the cooldowns out.
I don't know that we're going to see anything that outlandish, but I mean, there's some good options here. I mean, it's going to start with the front line. I mean, it really just starts with the Winston. You continue to play the Winston into the Mauga, because you're just getting melted. And we know that's with ISU's gameplay. We know that's their strong suit. They want to lean into that. Yeah. And this is their map pick here on Esperanza. So do they go back to the Ramashore? Do they have something else? We saw a touch of Junker Queen on Suravasa. Didn't last long.
Yeah, but how much of that was upsetting Spaghetti and not being able to break the Mauga curse? I think that's the big point of contention, is that I know that we talk about it leading with the tip of the spear, but I think that sometimes the flanges behind the spear have to do a little bit more work. They have to be more honed. They have to be more precise in guiding where the spear is going to go. So I think that's the big thing for me, is that's where ISU needs to make a little bit of adjustment. We know Lethal can play Reaper. We've seen it back on the previous iteration of ISU before the new crop came in.
Right.
So I think that if you can get Will to play that vision, previous vision, supporting DPS to the Reaper, I think the Sombra could possibly come out here. I know that Will's got a pretty decent Sombra in their own right, so let's see if they make some changes, because that's what this kind of extended pause is kind of circled around.
Well, Northwood are at championship point. Just need to win one more. Reminder, this is a 1-3 here in this Legends Grand Final. So Northwood are one mirror map away from claiming that shiny trophy, adding it onto their shelves, and the plethora of championship trophies they've already got back at home there, Billy.
I mean, I'm just ready to see how this is going to go down, because Kuffa's asking for the monkey mirror. Cowman has not honorably gone into it. I'm kind of disappointed in Cowman, I'm not going to lie. This is where you have to put your knuckles on the ground with a certain dominance.
Well. Looks like Kuffa might be opting into the mirror. We'll see if this holds. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them. That is the classic saying.
I wouldn't hate it, honestly. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them. Why not? Maimone getting everybody out fast might give them a little bit of positional advantage. That's what I'm looking for from them. Let's see if they change over. Nope. Yeah, there we go. There's the change finally.
An interesting point here is Lethal versus Haven, which has been an amazing matchup all series long, a duel between these two. Both rolling out of the Cassidy. Cassidy a little bit more consistent damage at range and a little bit more survivable than a Sojourn, at least as far as the hit points are concerned.
Right. I think, I mean, it's a complete mirror match, so, I mean, this is all about focusing on the 1v1 duels, especially Lethal and Haven, and then Rocket and Maimone. Do they go into the honorable Tracer 1v1, or do they, look to harangue the back lines to see who they can take a support down first?
It's up to ISU to find a way past Cowman. Trying to get to CJ here in the back line, the support system. Keeping Cowman, just fully topped off through all of this, absorbing as much damage as possible. And you can see CJ has already built up 70% towards the first ultimate here, towards that Kitsune rush. It's going to be the ticket to winning this first fight.
Mamone slightly ahead of Rocket right now in the Pulse Bomb generation, so that's going to be something to be looking at there. This is going to be back and forth. This is all about who gets the first pick. This is going to be a very extended first fight. It's all about positioning. It's all about posturing here, Jeff, and seeing who can get themselves into a proper position to be able to get a final blow.
Rocket's been doing a good job of keeping Mamone at bay. He's kind of controlling the kitchen there on that left-hand side. We saw ISU think about looping around the center tower, but they haven't committed to that just yet. A little help from Kelman in the back up for a moment. Here comes the Kitsune rush out of Northwood. Deadeye from Lethal finds Kelman amidst that. I don't know how that even worked. Oh, but it's the Suzu to protect against the magnetic fade. Still ISU are on top. With that said, though, Rocket even things out. It's Rocket versus Lethal to see who can get more kills. It's 3 apiece. We're down to a 2v2 left on this point for control of Timothy.
Yeah, but I mean, now that you've got Haven back, the first one to go down, I think that we need to see, are they going to use this magnetic grenade to their effect? That they don't, ISU doesn't get any forward progress here. That is actually massive. Getting the Deadeye out, not getting any visible progress, that is absolutely scary.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a draw of a team fight. Nobody really won that team fight. I guess Northwood was able to push the bottle a little closer, but Lethal gets first blow here in fight number 2. That's going to be a Deadeye coming out from Hayden. Forces Cuffle back up around the corner. They even ate a couple shots from Lethal. Lethal bravely poking and peeking around that corner. Whether predicted the nade doesn't land, but that headshot did. Suzu used early here on the Calman as well as the Cardiac Overdrive. They're going to throw in the Cage Fight. Cage Fight caught the ray, but here comes the Sound Barrier out from Admiral. And, whoa, that just forced Calman to drop it. Calman just said, nope, changed their mind, back away. They looped away. They went the wrong way, Billy. They didn't disengage back to the rest of the team. They tried to do-si-do into being ISU or swinging their partner.
Well, do-si-do turned into nopey-nope, and they get wiped there, and this is going to be positive progress in taking the lead here. Mind you, we have moved a total net of about, 40 meters in the first 3.5 minutes of this match, and now we're looking to see what kind of rotation can we get. Are we going to go aggressive with these Kitsune rushes? We see how well Cuffin does on the back of that increased cooldown speed.
Watch Rocket coming up here with a pulse bomb. Admiral playing very close to try to protect that door to boop anybody else down. Yep, there it is. There's the boop. Rocket is it back down low and pulse lands. That was actually Mamone's pulse bomb. Beautifully protected by the Suzu of CJ. Now CJ is going to throw in that Kitsune rush. With that, they're able to find Kaffa. Unfortunately, they lose their flanker, but CJ is there to pick up the slack in the lack of the damage department. That slam is enough. Oh, bit of a bait. Thought they were going for Admiral. Turns out they found Skyle instead.
Indeed. Now, I mean, this should be Northwood catching up to what Illinois State was able to put out there. Another Deadeye is going to be in line for both these Cassidys, and I'm looking now for Sound Barrier. CJ just that little nudge ahead of Admiral right now. So, I mean, this is all kind of riding on a hair team, and they're going to pull the trigger first.
It's Heaven pulling the trigger on the Deadeye as Illinois State wanted to come up those stairs. Lethal cleaning off the flank. 5v3, favoring ISU as Lethal will get felled in their own Deadeye, but you know what? They're still able to come out on top. Northwood doesn't even get the lead.
4 meters, the difference as we approach the halfway point here of our push map here at Esperanza. Reminder, Northwood is on championship point. They're trying to get the Crystal Trophy. But ISU, they are not letting go without a fight.
Redbirds would love to send us to that map 5. Rocket playing down low. Looks like all of Northwood. Okay, only momentarily playing now. They will eventually rotate up to try to take bridge. Sound Barrier and Cage Fight at Northwood's disposal. Calman slowly but surely just making their way forward. Sees the opportunity, catches Kuffa inside of that, which is going to prompt the Sound Barrier out from Admiral. Vega pops the second one and pushes in to try to continue to find these kills. Skyle called off from the rest of the team. Does go down. Woo! Calman forced to drop. Beautiful Suzu out of CJ. Otherwise, Calman is toast. It's Haven who ends up on the business deal of Kuffa's pair of guns. And Lethal picks up 2.
There's a cleanup right there that they needed. That's exactly what they needed. The point. The point is still moving. Somebody's on the point. Okay, there they go. They take care of it. So,
that
4
should
minutes.
be close spawns.
Yes. 4 minutes between the two. Another Deadeye about online for lethal, so he's actually lapped Haven in the generation of that. Dueling rushes once again. I think we start out this next fight.
That steal from Cowman denies ISU from getting the close spawns on the checkpoint here. You see Rocket sacrifices themselves to make sure that happens. Scissor use early, ISU clocking that. Oh, drop down. Oh, point there comes to Cowman, punishing the most winningest player in all of collegiate Overwatch. And ISU are raging forward, hoping, searching for that map 5.
Well, I mean, they're going to get the scratch moment. They're going to get the 4 spawns taken care of as well. This is everything that they wanted and more. They're going to have 3 push here. And now you're looking at a cage fight here for Kuppa on the back of a Kitsune rush as well.
ISU just drop the butt, go back to take their high ground, hold on top of this bridge where they can decide how they want to attack and use the aforementioned ultimates. Cover built up the rest of that cage fight. Rocket is just waiting for anybody to drop in their sides. Whoop! Here comes Kuppa, just raging around the corner. Caught Haven completely unaware. Blindsided and blitzkrieg. Kuppa is marching forward and might have just delivered ISU the lead they need to send us forward to another map.
Kuppa forces Cowman off of Malga as well. The mind games are afoot, Jeff. I am so happy you and I are here to talk about this because this is getting absolutely crazy. 2.5 minutes left to go. You're looking at the cage fight and a pulse bomb ready to go.
ISU spent nothing in that previous fight win. And look how smart they're playing this to get as far as they can. They're going to back up. Ooh, they didn't get out early enough. Yeah, they're not able to complete the rotation they want. Kitsune rushes out for both of our squads. Deadeye unleashed from Haven. ISU can't get around the corner. Skyle gets caught out. Finally, Northwood able to put together a good, successful fight for the first time in a solid 5 or 6 minutes.
But they only invest the pulse or the pulse bomb and the rush into that fight. Same thing from Northwood. The big thing is that Kuppa still has this cage fight. They were very smart not to let go of it. He and Admiral have the advantage going in this next fight.
ISU are so conservative with their ultimate. There's the cage fight. Cowman looked kind of just ready for that. Like, they just knew that was going to happen. They just got to stood there and let it. Beautiful sound barrier roll from Lethal. Able to keep them up, but only temporarily, as Haven eventually finishing them off, finishing what Rocket had started. Still, it is a brawl up here on the bridge. This bloody bridge of Esperanza, and it's Northwood who are left standing when it's all said and done.
Oh, my word. I mean, Ultimate's out plenty coming out there, and now, I mean, look at Cowman going to have their own answering cage fight into this next fight. They're going to have I thought they were going to have a pulse bomb, but Rocket let go with that a little bit earlier than I thought, so now you're looking for the battle between CJ and Skyle. Who's going to get up to rush first? They're going to give up this 4th spot, I think. They should at least. Well, I say that, they don't.
Crucial move from Mamone to survive the exit of the previous fight to get here and make sure that stops Northwood from getting that checkpoint, from getting those closer spawns. Back and forth, the duel between Lethal and Haven continues with Lethal coming out on top. Cage fight is in from Cowman. Kuppa ends up riding vertically along that wall before going down, but Mamone throws a pulse bomb into the middle of that cage.
As the dust settles, Illinois State grabs control of Timothy Smith. Working around, they're going to deny any spawn advantage here for Northwood Blue. 10 seconds left on the clock. They're going to have the rush. They're going to have a Deadeye. Can they hold on?
One fight win for ISU to send us to map 5. Here's the Deadeye from Haven. Down low, ISU are still caught on top of the bridge. Northwood use that time to try to scoop spot forward. Kitsune rush now in for both of our squads. It's going to be a fight on the stairs. One that Cowman doesn't survive. Cowman cannot get up and in close pass, and he's shot from Lethal. Lethal's able to roll around. 2 headshots down onto Haven. 1 health. They drop in the sound barrier and punch him down. ISU
the bot
winning the fight if the bot has run away. Still, all you need to do is clean it up, ISU, and indeed they shall. Map 5, here we come.
This is the only fitting ending that we should ever have had. ISU brings it back from the brink. They were facing championship point, and now it's one map to set it all for this crystal trophy sitting in front of us.
And Haven have been instrumental in delivering Route 66 and delivering Sir of Vasa into the hands of the Timberwolves. But the Birds, they find their wings there in map 4, and it's Lethal who comes out the better end of those duels. Oh my, oh my. It's going to be one last map, one last hybrid to determine who takes home the Crystal Trophy here in front of us for NECC Legends. We're going to take a break. The conclusion of this map, this match, this series, this season, right around the corner. A grand finals headed to map 5. We wouldn't have it any other way here at NECC. It's Jeff and Billy back with you as we get into our 5th and final map here between ISU Redbirds and Northwood Timberwolves.
I don't think that this could have gone any other way.
No.
I considering what they've done online, considering what they've done in other competitions, these two teams have been going at each other's throats all year long. This entire collegiate season, it's always been ISU and Northwood.
It does feel that way.
It feels like that.
I mean, I'm reminded of Season 3 of Avatar, the Dragon Dance. It's a red dragon and the blue dragon in an eternal dance around each other. And it's brought us here, I mean, deadlocked heading into this map 5. And we asked heading into map 4, could ISU find an answer for the Malga? Turns out the answer was to bring their own.
Who knew Kuffa had that good of a Malga?
I did not.
I did not.
I did not.
And I think that also Lethal matching Haven on the Cassidy and actually winning those duels was another big reason why they win Esperanza. So now ISU have banned out Midtown, which we saw them play on Friday on the stage up here.
Yeah, they banned that one out against Fisher as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I tell you what, Northwood come back with a Kings Row ban. Kind of interesting that they banned that out. So we are headed to Hollywood,
which is actually Northwood's map pick.
Yep.
With ISU winning Esperanza, Northwood gets to decide our 5th and final map. So we'll see if that plays any factor heading into this.
Okay. Oh well. Okay. We got some other things coming in there. I guess it was we got it backwards. Northwood banned Kings Row, and then ISU banned Midtown,
Correct.
And then the Northwood picking of Hollywood. So this tells me that Sigma could come to play here for Northwood. It also tells me that Cowman might be playing the Diva to deal with high ground Winston. So we will see how the front line is going to deal with this. How both Haven, Rocket, and Cowman are going to deal with Kuffa and Will.
And what is the answer? What is the answer to what they're bringing? We've seen this series develop, and it started with Winston victories, and then the Malga just melting through Kuffa's Winston, and that put Northwood up 2-1. Finally, in map 4, Redbird answer with their own Malga. So we've seen this just back and forth. It's Northwood's turn to show us what else they have in the war chest.
So I'm looking past point 1 because I think point 1. With Winston, if they get their lineups right, if they get their cooldowns and their pathing correct, I think that they're going to be able to take point A relatively easily if we do see Cowman come out on the Malga, because Malga cannot contest high ground as well. And all Cuffin's going to do is just stage, wait for cooldowns, get in, get his job done, get up, wait for the flankers to get in there and take care of their business. Then wash, rinse, repeat at that point. So as we head in, Illinois State will be on the attack. They will set the standard for what could be a championship run. We have seen what this ISU team can do on stream on Friday. They had a massive win on this map of Hollywood. We will see how this is going to go down. It's all going to be about what kind of events can Northwood set up. Do they have something up their sleeve that they're expecting? Looking what they're bringing out, I don't think they do.
I love ISU shouting out Jimical from Bryant Stratton, talking about how they had Cowman's number on the Roadhog. I love the banter between these two teams. That's it. Your final Map 5 decider here in our grand finals has begun. Let's go.
Kuffa back into the Amalgam Mirror as well. So we are not going to play this, but Skyle still on the Ana. So there might be a nano engage there. I was going to say we're going to be looking at the antis, but now it's a full mirror once again. They feel confident after that Esperanza.
They were hoping they could get Skyle back on that Ana, but I think saw the DPS line from the other side and thought better of it, so I'd play a little bit safer. Skyle back on the carry.
Now this tells me high ground's going to be at a 3. The team can control the high ground and really bait out Suzu because of this, because of the fire over effect. I think that we're going to have a bigger macro here, looking at how does the tank engage, and then how does the support line keep that player or those players up from the burning effect.
So far, it's just a big poke battle between our two squads. Really looking at Lethal and Haven to open this up. It was Haven taking a lot of damage early. Lead from Lethal. ISU inching forward on to this point and started building up a little bit of progress as Tuffa drops that cardiac overdrive to maintain up front. Lethal's Deadeye interrupted. Saban's going to finish him off with a magnetic grenade, and here comes Calman rushing back onto the objective. Hit Admiral with that slam and just force the back line up, and in fact the entirety of ISU are running away.
Yeah, but I mean, this will be just be clean up on aisle 3 here for Northwood Blue. They beat the race to the Kitsune Rush. They also beat the race to the Pulse Bomb. However, Will is not too far behind. They're going to have Sound Barrier online, so basically a war chest for both teams. It's all about timing and baiting out, if you can. If you're ISU, you want to bait out Suzu, and you want to bait out the beat as soon as you can. But Haven's going to start it out.
It's going to be an amp speed Deadeye up to the front. Tuffa kind of separated from the pack, and Haven was hoping to perhaps catch Style on the left-hand side, but ISU is rotated all the way around. They won't find themselves on the high ground. I'm not sure Northwood is ready for that. ISU completely pulled the wool over their eyes, then have sent Calman to the grave. They're going to get this point for basically nothing.
That is actually crazy. There's the cleanup. These are going to be late staggers coming in, so now there's going to be a lot of forward progress. They're also probably going to catch you up. They're going to catch Haven in the back line, so the staggers now. Can Kuffa and company take the elevator and control this high ground? You know, I think that you leave Will on the bottom on the payload.
Yeah, you always leave your Tracer down low, because the
Tracer
Tracer can get up there if they need to.
And then, you know, I mean, if the Tracer gets in trouble, then you can swift step. Scout can get in there and take care of that. Sound Barrier's still ready to go. You have an early cage match, perhaps, from Kuffa to kind of really assert dominance here. There it is.
Oh, and it catches Vega. Vega's hanging off the side of the building, still attached to the cage. Oh my goodness. Rocket does fall, and woo, Kuffa from the top rope, slamming down. I felt that thud from here in Texas. I felt that thud in Hollywood.
Do you see Lethal's skin? Lethal has the best skin on right now, and now they're looking at a Deadeye from high ground.
That was Calman who went up there to greet that Deadeye. Woo! Turns around and finds Haven with that just as the Deadeye was about to fade. Great timing on that. Can't slide out, Calman down low. That's coming caught in, and Will finish them off. Here comes this one trying to help him out. Style was a bit late to that party. Calman now left the court, hoping to get some exit hits.
I mean, that's a good ultimate there for them. I think that they claim a lot of space. I think they claim a lot of cooldown management as well. And now, you know what? Calman says, you know what, screw it. I'm going to get a really aggressive here and try to lap Kuffa. Well, and they don't really do that. But now, you know, you're looking at a rush for both teams. You're looking at both the DPS ultimates here for Northwood. Look for Haven to get a little bit cagey. Maybe some funky positioning. Look for Rocket to get very aggressive. See if they can pull this Suzu out from Skyle. But they've got both their support ultimates ready to go.
Consider Rescues first ISU as they run forward. Haven tries to stop them with that Deadeye. Ends up just dropping back down low. So we're just going to wait out the shielding from the sounds of Admiral. Meanwhile, somebody from ISU dropped it. Yeah, that was Limon dropped down low. What do you do from here, birds? You got to get down to that point. Limon down. Pulse bomb in the pocket.
Oh, tricky. Go through Saloon. Go through Saloon. They get the pulse bomb up, no choice.
They may have gotten the Suzu out of DJ twice. They don't have a gun either. Possibly from the high ground, as Rocket is going to win on that duel against Maimon. Meanwhile, back on the point, there's a Kitsune rush from Northwood. That was absolutely a Suzu use to help pursue Lethal. Successfully doing so. Rocket will blink up to the high ground, forces Skyle down low, and this is going to be a stop from Northwood.
Yeah, I mean, they've actually turned the ultimate economy into their favor now, and they're starting to feel aggressive. They're starting to push in on some of these Calman cardiac overdrives, and they're starting to really follow up on the back of that when they have that extra overhealth going on. So, I mean, you're looking now. Sound Barrier was used there by Admiral early in the fight. So, I mean, you know, Kuffa will have this cage fight ready to go. But Vega does have a Sound Barrier to kind of cleanse out of it, plus Rocket. We know how good they are in the Tracer. We know how good the Stickers have been. They need to land something and really set this in their favor.
Good just in this map right here and now. The Rocket is able to get a good stick off the gate. Poking across the bridge. ISU really have, I mean, they're waiting to build up the tools they need, so this is a very slow approach. That sound barrier, most notably. If Skiles gets in a rush up, wouldn't hurt their phalanx either.
I mean, they got to go at some point. We're at 30 seconds now, and they're going to have both their support ultimates ready to go. CJ has to be the primary target here to make sure that they can't build up towards the Kitsune rush.
ISU, they're only going to get one fight, so they're going to bank on these ults, use that Kitsune rush to get across. Woo! Gets Haven on the drop! How did Kuva get that kill? The Suzu didn't look like it was there, but either way, Haven falls lifeless. As the Cage fight now thrown in, Kuva Sound Barrier is thrown in as well. Rocket gets themselves with the Pulse Bomb, and ISU get 2 points on the board.
And they get an extra minute and a half. That is the big takeaway from that, but both support ultimates did have to come out from Illinois State to guarantee that they get the second point. But Northwood put in 4 ultimates into that fight, Jeff, so now we're looking at Illinois State with a massive ultimate advantage here. It's all about can they get the positioning that they need to be able to deny. The defensive positioning here coming from Northwood, we're looking for Skyle now. Has to build up a Kitsune rush so incredibly fast and keep Cowman under wraps.
CJ's already down. And yeah, Lethal pops the Deadeye a little before that happened, but without the tank, there's no shot ISU are able to push into the studio here.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to see just a little soft reset here, see if Kuffa can get anything done. I would love to see, honestly, Kuffa come out either on the Ramacha here or onto the, what else is well in here? I mean, the Monkey could actually have some good effect for taking the high ground, being able to drop down and jump back up and, kind of play this do-si-do on the point. ISU facing approach. Well, you only have so much time to wait for ultimates here on this third point. 17 on the clock, and the one ultimate they have finds Painter. But Vega is gonna fall. 5v4 here on the front line. Calman gets stuck on the corner. No escape, no speed to get them out. That's both supports down, nothing but DPS. Left stand-in for Northwood. Yep, I mean, this is going to be a really good push. I mean, they're gonna, if they do capture it, it's going to be in overtime. So, I mean, now it's about Rocket trying to land a pulse bomb here. See if they can get that done. Vega, or Haven, if he can stay alive long enough, uses the Deadeye to zone the point off. 3.7 meters, somebody's got to touch, and it's Rocket on point.
And then here comes Kuva right into the back line once again, trying to hunt down the support, trying to hunt down the sustain of this combat, and finds it. It's actually Lethal getting that kill. Good job from Coven doing a body block to stop that Deadeye. Sound Barrier invested too. ISU very wisely using their resources to maximum effect.
I mean, they were patient, and that's something that we don't necessarily equate to ISU being normally doing. So now, for Northwood, they know they have to complete the map to keep themselves in this grand final, to get themselves this beautiful trophy. And, I mean, we're looking at it. So, ISU has an Overwatch Collegiate Cup game versus Utah Utes. It starts at about, what, 20 minutes-ish?
No, it's now.
Now?
Yeah. it is time for that game to start. That's all right, though. I'm not worried about that right now, to be honest. My focus is right here in this map 5, and I'm sure that is all that's on ISU's mind at the moment.
They want to take it to Northwood. They want to get the final little brick above Northwood. This has been built by these two teams, brick by brick, all season long, back and forth, at each other's throats. Northwood has gotten the better of ISU more times than not this season.
Well, and most recently in the fall ABC competition in Homecoming. But it wasn't the same ISU roster. This roster comes in from ISU at the start of 2024. It is a new Redbirds. It's a Redbirds that we all had massive question marks about. That came in 7th when they debuted in the Oka rankings. And I've realized since how just grossly underrated we had this squad. Now they're knocking on the doors of taking home a championship away from Northwood. They just got to hold them off.
Well, it's all about high ground right now. They're going to force Lethal off. They're going to make him go round the outside and onto the point. So now it's all about positioning. It's all about how aggressive is Rocket's going to get here. Rocket's going to be, honestly, the push here. And then, well, they pushed them on the point. They're going to get a pick for free.
Did a lot of damage. Coming is trying to keep Cover contained. Cover does eventually come out and make the contest before the third point is picked up. Northwood will have to fight to get this last decision they need. Rocket in a bit of a duel with Lethal on the outside. Man, a grenade lands, but the recall is there. Rocket has to turn their attention onto Style instead. Waited for Admiral to fly it out of the stairwell. Beautifully done there out of Northwood. One and done on point A.
I'm looking more at the time than anything. I mean, it is 5:22 right now as we are pushing in. Cowman and company are going to push aggressively on this high ground. They're going to claim the top of Saloon here. And, I mean, unless Illinois State has anything in their back pocket, they're going to have to try to stop this steam engine from going down the track.
Looks like they're just going to try to muscle their way back up to the high ground. They're running directly into Kitsune Rush out of Northwood, though, but Northwood's going to have to do this from a player down. ISU just no bond out. They head down into below. Decide to go stop the cart.
That was a stick from Rocket. Did not get the joy on the end of it. And there we go. Admiral starting to get aggressive once again, pushing with his players. There's 3 down. There's the stop that Illinois State needed. Now, back up to the high ground. Watch the approach coming in from Northwood. They do have this cage fight ready. They've got the Deadeye as well, so I mean, you can combine those two, and we'll see. We'll see how they decide to portion this out. Skyle has been absolutely clutch with their rushes all series long. Let's see if they can get another good one here and really turn this fight in their favor.
I am really getting down low, but very atypical defensive approach here for Hollywood. In the face of Northwood, up close to the post. The Kitsune Rush now out countered by a cage fight here from Cowman. Sounder thrown in from both of our squads. Cage fight thrown in from Kappa. There's a laser light show going on here in the middle of Hollywood. I guess it's fitting, and it's ISU coming out on top. Nothing but red in the feed.
Sorry, that was my best Mauga Woo. Woo? Is that woo? Anyways, I mean, both sound barriers come out, both cage fights come out. Kappa with the later one, Admiral with the later one. They get the fight win. Now this is more time off the clock. We're at 3:26. We're about 40% away through the street space here in Hollywood, and nothing online here for either team. We're looking at Rocky to start things out with the pulse bomb very close enough coming.
That was a bit of a fumble on the elevator itself, trying to get him out of the high ground. Yeah, and Illinois State are able to capitalize on that. Northwood never quite recovers, and they lose Rocket before this fight even begins. With the best Kitsune Rush from the deficit, ISU rotate around, head up high.
I mean, that's a clear nope. Out of that, I mean, the Kitsune Rush is so powerful. I mean, they do the best thing they can do, and that's disengage from it. Oh, but Rocket's best of will.
Rocket returning with a vengeance. Giving Northwood the player advantage here on this fight. Northwood head up to the high ground. ISU rotates back. Northwood trying to race. Team they can beat him across the bridge, and they do. CJ finding Lethal. Cowman just landing in the thick of birds. Lots of fire being poured into Kappa, but the sustain is too good. Haven's the one that ends up falling. Pulls from Mamone as they return, making their presence known.
I mean, Jeff, this is play and counterplay. I mean, Lethal has been killed at his last 2 Deadeyes. So that is actually massive there for them. We need to see what's happening there. And oh boy, I'm not sure what is happening here. Oh no.
Yep. Close that. There it is.
All right, back up to the high ground here for Illinois State. And well, they're starting to do it again. There's the cage fight out.
The Cowman's caught in that, even though they fell down low. Yeah, they're not going to be able to escape. That was both cage fights invested in that.
This is starting to turn into a debacle here for Northwood. They keep trying to outmaneuver Illinois State, and on the back of Admiral, holding the amp speed to get them out of there. And Skyle has been very smart, very cagey, playing off to the side, being able to swift step away. Once they disengage, then they use the swift step to get out of there. That's why they've been caught a couple of times, so we will see what's going to happen there. Oh my gosh, there comes out. Lethal finally gets Deadeye off.
And South Barrier thrown in. Northwood. This fight's already over.
Well, you say that. Mamone is cleaning everything up. They've got the high ground again, and Mamone is in chase. The Welshman trying to turn Cowman into a little bit of Welsh rarebit. The pulse bomb is out and takes Cowman down 55 seconds left on the clock for the championship.
Yeah, no, that fight was done like from the get-go. As soon as Cowman goes down on that approach, that fight was over. It was a +2 to ISU. Northwood decided to continue to try investing into that, but they were investing in a 3v5.
Well, I think that you have to build up both the defense focus here. You know how good Haven and Rocket have been all day. I mean, now looking at the Mauga, I mean they're what 8% apart. This is going to be another later cage fight coming in from Kuffa. We've seen it time and time again. He's gotten the better of this matchup.
And Northwood have not made any swaps. Northwood forced this Mauga fight. Kuffa has opted into it, and ISU are getting the better end of it here. Good opening pick on the Vega once again. Here comes Rocket up top of the pulse moment. That one doesn't land. Deadeye out from Haven as well. They just end up falling to Style, who can take another beautiful continued rush into the mix. And Kuffa using it to maximum effect. That is it. ISU put the brakes on it. They take the undominable Northwood and stomp them into the ground. It is the Redbirds who are flying high through this championship. We underestimated ISU. We will not anymore. They are your NECC champions.
This was everything that we built it to be. This was everything expended out from these two teams. And my word, Hollywood was dominant. This was everything that we thought it could be. And when they forced the Amalgamir, they did not expect Kuffa to be this good. Going later, time and time again with the cage fight, and then the collapse onto those. That was everything that you wanted to see. This was a match of the ages, and it's just getting started for these two teams today.
It's only the first of two meetings that we're going to have between these two squads, but we know for sure that it will be Redbirds taking home the Crystal Trophy here from NECC. Huge congrats. My goodness. Picking up this squad, picking up an almost entirely EU squad coming into the 24 spring season, almost at fall.
Yep.
Coming into this 2024 spring season, ISU make massive changes. I mean, it almost seemed like a gamble pulling in this roster.
Yep.
Never expected to see, to see Maimon, to see Admiral, to see Kuffa playing in a collegiate. And they just came through and put everybody to bed. They are your #1 team in Overwatch Collegiate right now.
I was saying that yesterday, and people were not listening to me. I'm telling you, this ISU team, when they get the bit between their teeth, they absolutely own everything, and that is exactly what they've done. This is yours!
Yeah, massive congrats to that squad. And Lethal, what a validation for Lethal. Lethal is the one player that stuck around on ISU.
Yep.
Got picked up, for London Spitfire there for a little while.
Yeah.
Made their return back into Overwatch Collegiate, returning to the Redbirds and bringing yet another first place trophy for them to add into their case back home.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? This is the pride of Turkey. We've got the pride of Wales as well, pride of Estonia. Lots of Overwatch World Cup representation here, as I alluded to on Friday. This is a team of all-stars, not only on the world stage, but also the EU contenders stage. We talk about that. We also talk about Kuffa representing the Overwatch Ruse.
Mr. Worldwide himself.
Mr. Worldwide. I mean, played on ping during a lot of the competitions. Now he's here in person. What a character, by the way. Kuffa is hilarious. If you've not had the chance to talk to that young man, I mean, I could listen to him talk all day. I love Australian accents, and he's such a funny fellow. But Lethal, businessman-like, getting it done. And man, oh man, what a grand final. Cannot wait to see how this progresses on.
Yeah, I mean, that does it here for Overwatch 2. Here for NECC Legends Nationals live from your eSports Stadium, Arlington. But you know what? We've crowned ISU as our Overwatch champion. We crowned Blinn. Blinn College is our Valorant champions. We have also crowned Winthrop for our League of Legends champions. Yep. There's just one more round to go. One more championship game that is left, and that is for Rocket League. We're gonna get a couple casters over here. We're gonna get Basataco in here for that one, as it'll be Ball State team, one of the only teams going to be perfect first to 4 game in Rocket League. Did that yesterday.
Yep.
That was a sight to behold. We're gonna get them in here, see if they can take the championship here in NECC. They're gonna be, oh shoot, who are they?
They're going up against Maryville.
Oh, that's gonna be a game, y'all. That's gonna be a game. Stick around. Your last and final grand champions just around the corner. Last NECC match. We'll see you soon.
Boom.